Back when I was younger, I was homeless and I hated every minute of it, scrounging for food like a little raccoon going through garbage cans. One garbage can in particular I went to was behind a bakery. They toss out their day-oats, and that was the best day for me because bread really fills you up. They have sweets, desserts, and things of that variety, and sometimes they toss out a specific kind of syrup, and they toss that syrup out, and it'd be full of new syrup, and I drink that syrup because that was a delicacy for me. I put it on top of bread and have a fun time with it. One day, though, they caught me. They caught me scrounging around, and I was trying to run away, but they had locked me in. And I knew at that point that I was probably going to go to jail. I thought to myself, well, at least there's dental in prison, I think. Okay, I can get dental, and I get 3 square meals a day. I'd probably be like a guy that holds the pocket in prison. I'm not going to lie to you there. Okay, I can deal with it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Take me, man meat. Take me, man meat. But that didn't happen. An Amish man came out, and he said, taking our food? Why are you taking our food? What's wrong? I said, I'm homeless, I'm destitute, I'm broke. My life is in shambles. If you're not going to send me to prison, may I please have a sandwich? He said, wait here. So I waited. Against my better knowledge, I just decided I should wait. The 2 other workers were looking at me, and they were very impressed by my hair. And I said, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And they said, like a sheep's wool it is. Yes, it is. Thank you. It's like that was the first time they ever saw a black person. And lo and behold, it may have been the first time they ever saw a black person because I was in a strange part of town. Guy came back out with a toasted bread and some meat in between. I was very excited. I said, thank you, good sir. If you'd like to stick your meat in between. He said, stop right there. I said, oh, sorry. I bit into the sandwich. He said, would you like a job? I said, I'm not a baker. He said, no, not here. I'm a bishop. I said, what? Like a church? He said, no, I live in a community. I come out here in order to sell products like furniture and bakeries and goods. I own 2 stores. Would you like to come with me? I said, I would love to. You said you got a house? He said, yes. A house, eh? Well, being unable to have housing of my own, I feel like this is a dandy idea. He said, okay, come with me. In the front, I had always saw this Tesla. Very nice Tesla. I loved it. I wonder who owned it. Turns out this Amish man, we're going to call him Jebby. Jebby owned a Tesla. Why did he own a Tesla? I do not know. We ride, and I have nothing on me. I have no shopping cart, as most homeless people do. I should have got a shopping cart. I have nothing to my name. And I just ride out there. And we stop at a little area on the outskirts of the town. They had a horse and a buggy. He parked his Tesla, got out, and said, the rest of the way will be on him. The horse? The horse. Okay. We get on the horse. Ah. I had never ridden a horse before. Very bumpy. Very, very bumpy. I enjoyed it. We arrive in town. Big clock tower in the middle. Bunch of little small places. It's like I went back in time. Like a Renaissance festival, one might say. But much, much more racist. It was insane. I looked around, seeing all the pleasantries, the people seeing me, a gawk at me. Egad! Someone's covered in soot. A charcoal skinned. I had never heard that before. That was new. That was next level. Someone called me a moon grasshopper. Like, what? Or moon cricket. I was like, oh my, there's so many new phrases I was learning. So many racially motivated things people were calling me. I was like, man, this is nuts. And I heard the same statement, the most common phrase, and I'll say it over and over again. His hair was like sheep's wool. Surprisingly, it was actually. It really was. He took me to a barn. He said, okay, stay here. Now, in the morning, we're going to get you washed up. Just lay here first. I imagine you're tired. I was exhausted. I had bread in my belly, and he gave me some water. I was very exhausted. I went to bed, woke up, and I learned farm work. Oh my God, I hated it. I hated tilling to the land. I hated the fact that he had a 6-foot pig. I didn't know pigs could get that big. Pigs can grow 6 feet long. No one told me that. Heavy, big, disgusting hogs. Nasty. Shoveling manure. Making toe jam. I didn't know toe jam was a real thing. They were making toe jam. I learned how to make bread. And as I was perusing throughout the day, women began to look at me as if I was a commodity, a caricature of a human. They'd never seen a black boy before. And I was washed, not cleanly shaven, and I was covered in work. My pheromones must have attracted them because they were very, 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 very provocative with me, showing me their ankles and everything. It was nuts. Anyways, time went on. And I began to learn the town, learn the village. It was very nice. They had made very, very horrible comments towards me, but it was very nice. They were still very nice people. I would call it racism, but it felt more like prejudice in a sense. It was a big difference between those two. I was having a fun time. Truly, I was. Then, one day, I had encountered a woman who was having issues with her husband. And I had been learning blacksmithing and things of that variety and learning how to put up barns, so I was tired. And she had said, "Oh, would you like some water?" And I said, "Oh, water? Oh, my goodness, I'd love water." She gave me some water. I said, "Damn, cuz, this is amazing." She said, "Why do you speak like that?" And I said, "I don't know, man. I just love speaking in certain different dialects throughout the day. It makes me feel good." She learned about my life and my life beforehand. She learned about the fact that I was married to a 90-year-old woman. She took that as an opportunity to say that I must like older women. And I said, "I don't mind them." And she said, "Do you mind me?" She had very supple breasts. And I said, "No, not at all." She had very strong hands, but somehow feminine at the same time. And she played with my hair, not knowing what to do with it. And we went to Funky Town. Uptown Funk you up. It was nuts. Had a great time in the bedroom. And then she told all of her friends about it. And her friends decided that they wanted a piece of me. And I just wanted peace inside of my soul. But I was tossed around, to and fro, everywhere, like the lead cheerleader I was. Everybody was so excited to get a piece of dark chocolate. It was bitter, much like actual dark chocolate, because it felt undeserved and unrewarded. I felt like it was just because I was black. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. But I did love it, but I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. But I did like it. I had so many emotions going through my entire body. Who knows how I felt? I didn't even know how I felt. I was happy that I wasn't homeless anymore, had a place to stay. Till one day Jebby sat me down. He said, "Now I know I've heard tall and talk of you going around sleeping with the Dickersons and the Amisteds and the others and the others and the others. And I want to tell you something. You sleep with my wife, that'll be the end of your life." I said, "That was a bar." He said, "A bar?" I said, "Don't worry about it. Just ignore what I said. I will not go towards your wife until Wednesday." I didn't go after his wife. I want to point this out. I know what you're thinking. I'm not gonna clickbait you. I didn't go for his wife, but on Wednesday they held a town meeting. I noticed the town was quite empty. Didn't really hear anything, what was going on. But they were loud with their town meeting inside of the church. And they had said, "We have to stop this black boy. He is evil. You, Jebby, brought an evil into the nation, and he is ruining our women." And the women said, "Yeah, he's ruining us." I'm like, "I am? Well, technically in the bedroom, I am ruining them. You know what I mean?" And Jebby had to have a long talk with me. Long and hard. Much like how I treated the women inside the entirety of the entire Amish village. And he said, "We can't have you around here sleeping with all the women. So, we're going to ride out of town. I'm going to make sure you get an apartment. You've done enough here." And I said, "Thank you for housing me for these past few months. I really do appreciate you." And I learned so much about life and journeying throughout loving the community that you foster. I learned what a hard day's work is. And my body was built. It was like muscle. I had work muscles. I felt very nice. And he said, "No problem. It's what any kind person would do for a stranger." He rolled me out on horse and buggy and then into Tesla on town. He had already set up for me to have an apartment and everything. I was super excited. Everything was fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. He gave me $17,000. He said, "This is for all the work you've done. I know I've never paid you, but this is pretty much all the work you've done." I said, "Whoa, this is amazing. Thank you." And after that, the worst thing that ever happened in my life happened. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I just want to tell you guys about the time I lived in an Amish village. It was really fun. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for having a fun day. I love you. Bye.